Today's gonna be a longer video than I usually do. I got a little behind on editing along with the regular life stuff that comes before editing. So I'm just gonna give a breakdown of everything I've done in the past week since I posted the last episode. So this first day was day 8 and it was pivotal in my development as an athlete and a coach. One person I listen to often is Coach Tony Holler, and one thing he's big on is not burning the steak. If you're tired, and at that point you need to rest. Going into the workout, I don't think I felt bad, but I had just ran the day before that, so clearly I'm not going to be anywhere near 100%. And for some reason, I overlooked the fact that I planned 3 to 6 heavy reps on my sets of deadlifts. And also, if you listen to me before, you'll know that prior to the recording of this video, I did not do a standard warm-up before I lifted. I would just do my core and my hip flexor work and whatever else, and I'll get into the workout. But all that changed after this day. I'm not gonna say I tweaked my back, but it was definitely tight the next day. So I took the rest of that day and the next day completely off. I got my proper rest and recovery before the next workout. I'm gonna bring the warm-up point back a little bit later, but with the deadlifts today, I wanted to focus on coming to a complete stop every single rep to simulate producing that force from a standstill like in the blocks rather than from a rebound. And one thing I'm going to consider moving forward is taking out the eccentric portion of the lift. People have different opinions on that, but with all the eccentric training I do outside of the deadlifts already, I won't be missing anything by dropping the bar. The combination with the deadlifts with these trap bar jumps you see here were to emphasize producing a max amount of force and producing it as quick as possible. Once again, my start has always been the weakest point of my race without a question, so that's why I focus on getting out of the blocks, maximizing force, and producing it quickly more than max speed, and honestly even more than my technique. But now that my start is much better, I've started to become more nitpicky on my technique and acceleration and at top speed so that I can start putting everything together as I continue to get stronger and learn more. Day 9 was after my 2-day break from training. I ran a few 30s, 45s, and 60s. The 2 points for the day were clearing the blocks well and transitioning into top speed using my new cue hammered down into the track. One thing I do want to continue emphasizing is low hill recovery in those first 3 steps in order to get my feet down onto the track and continue pushing forward. During this rep specifically, I'm gonna pause it because you can see on my 4th step, I landed on my heel, which caused me to stumble. After I went back to watch it, I thought back to most of my other starts recently, and I noticed 2 things. 1, it's always my left foot it happens on, and 2, there's something I'm missing between the first 3 steps and the 3rd step to 10 meters. I think I know what that is, but I'll save that for my next block session. Overall, they didn't look bad. I didn't really flinch at all, so that was great. Now in day 10, circling back to the warm-up. Why do I warm up at the track to perform at a high level and then go to the gym and not warm up? It didn't make any sense. And guess what? When it was time to get started, I felt as if I was ready to go. So today I came back to some cleans using a hang power clean variation. I have a horrible tendency of pushing my feet wider and wider as the weight goes up. The weight might be a little bit too heavy, but I think the main thing is a lack of body awareness. Next time I'm going to put some plates on the outside of my shoulder width to force myself into a proper catch position. After the hang cleans, I went on to some pin squats and paired that with squat jumps. Similar principle with the deadlifts, now just focusing on producing that force from a specific position. I did a couple other things this morning, but overall solid and smooth gym session. Day 11, last day of the vlog here. Once again, still implementing that different routine of my warm-up, switching some things around, trying to figure out what's the best method for me to get warm and ready to sprint. The 2 days you see with day 10 and day 11 are the first 2 times I've actually tried this warm-up routine, and I've actually felt pretty ready after I'm done. And I think the only thing I'll add for now is some banded drills and an extra run out or 2. This day I worked on my max velocity technique, specifically targeting stride frequency. I have not done wickets in a long time. I don't know why, but I'm glad I came back across them again. I was having some trouble with the spacing initially, and it was causing me to overstride and spend a little bit too much time in the air. You can hear that my frequency is pretty low, and it just sounds like a slow pace. And if you look at it, it looks like I'm just taking these super long steps. But after I shortened it up, I got a good rep in. Not only were the wickets helping with the stride frequency, but paired with the cue of hammer down into the track, as you can see here, I was able to get that feeling of quote unquote high knees, but also helping me be able to produce more force down the track. Right here, I didn't lie. It's the same rep. I just slowed it down a little bit so you can see the technique. Unfortunately, I only planned for 4 reps, so that was the last one. Looking back, I should have ran 1 or 2 more with the right spacing, but it is what it is. After that, I ran a 120, 180 at 85, 90, and 95. But to be completely honest, if you don't have a benchmark to base those percentages off of, which I do not, it's hard to tell what those percentages actually feel like. So I just dialed it back a little bit and focused specifically on the technique and hammering all the way down the track every single rep. Solid workout for the day, solid week of training. Moving forward, I have an idea about how I can get some rough hand times, and I'll implement that in the next track day. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.